In this video, I'm looking at the Kiwi Ears Cadenza IEM. Let's get it. What's cracking, audio fans? It's David here from Prime Audio Reviews. Now, if you're following the chi-fi scene like most of you probably are, then you've definitely heard of the Kiwi Ears Cadenza. Let's start with some of the basics. First of all, the price is $35. So we're in that budget realm, not quite ultra budget, but we're solidly in that budget realm. And in here, we've got a 10mm beryllium diaphragm driver. Beryllium drivers are all the rage right now, and 10mm seems to be the go-to at the moment. So let's dive a little bit deeper into this and see what's all the hype about, and is it justified? Well, first of all, we need to look at the IEMs, and personally, I think this is a massive part of the reason why these have been so hyped, because the shells are just simply gorgeous. Look at them. Look at that. So nice. Can you imagine paying $35 for an IM that looks this good? I mean, once upon a time, you'd have to pay $200 to see a shell like that. I mean, look at it. They're small. The build quality is great. The face plates are beautiful. And in addition to all that, they are super comfortable. So they're super small, super comfortable. They're beautiful. What more could you ask for? Well, if we're asking that question, you could ask for a slightly better cable. However, at that $35 price point, I am not going to complain about this one because it's actually pretty good. It's very similar to the cable that comes with the Tin Hi-Fi T3 Plus. So if you've seen that, then you know what to expect here. Look, it's a generic kind of cable, but it's a good one. It handles well. It doesn't have microphonics. It doesn't tangle too readily. And now I'm not going to dwell on that stuff too much because I've already told you they're beautiful and they're comfortable. So I guess the only thing now is to talk about how it sounds. So let's throw up the graph. Yeah, it's that again. Okay. Well, let's not get hung up too much on that. You know how I feel. If you've been here before, you know how I'm feeling about this current curve that we're seeing. It's everywhere, and it's driving me a bit mad. But you know what? At the same time, I have to give it its props. I have to give props where it's due because it does sound good, and the people are liking it. So the Cadenza IEM has a warm and a slightly dark sound signature thanks to its rich bass and subdued highs. This makes it a good choice for listeners who are sensitive to treble. Despite being a budget IEM, it also performs fairly well in terms of technicalities. Let's talk about the bass and get ready to feel the full-bodied thump of Cadenza's bass. Bass notes are slightly rounded and they have a soft start, but don't despair, they still decay quickly, and when the sub bass kicks in, watch out because these guys can rumble with the best of them. Just be aware that the texture might be a little soft, so it might not be quite as crisp as some other IEMs. Onto the mid-range, and if you are a fan of smooth vocals and rich orchestral strings, then you will love the mid-range on these IEMs. They are clear enough to make out all the lyrics. In fact, vocals are pretty forward, but electric guitars might sound a little dull if you are into some extra bite. Don't worry though, the warmth and the body and the natural tone throughout the mids should make up for it. Vocals are the star of the show here really, and they stand out pretty much above all else. They're natural in tone and they are accurate in note size, but just try not to get too carried away with your symphonic jams because the edges of notes might get a little soft, but at least your ears will be treated to some delicious auditory goodness. And in terms of treble, the Kiwi Ears Cadenza's treble is like a cool glass of lemonade on a hot summer day. It's smooth, refreshing, and has just the right amount of crispness to keep things interesting. There's absolutely no sibilance or harshness to be found, even when you turn the music up loud. But at the same time, it's not the airiest or the most extended treble. So the highs, they don't exactly sparkle. In fact, that you could actually say that they kind of lack energy to a certain extent. But hey, at least you can turn your music up without fear of the treble stabbing you in the ears. As for soundstage and technical performance, the Cadenza soundstage is average in size, but it is stable in its presentation. It is not especially wide, but it's nice and rounded. It does have good forward depth. The soundstage is, I would say it's organized, but the spacing between instruments is not all entirely black. You know, there is some blurring on the edges. And the resolution and instrument separation, they're kind of average as well. And the imaging is a little indistinct. But with all that said, I had to keep reminding myself that this is a $35 IEM. I might sound a little bit critical of it. And that's just because I'm exposed to so much stuff. But at the end of the day, $35 IEM, you can't really complain too much. And this is doing pretty good. All right, let's talk about, it's not really a comparison, but we'll talk about something here because I'll show you why in a second. This is the Tin Hi-Fi C3, and let's just get it over with. Let's look at the graph now. And look, it's just so relevant to what I said in my last video. Oh, can you believe it? They are so similar. It's just ridiculous. And man, look, it's a great year. 2022 has been an incredible year for consumers and audiophiles, especially budget audiophiles. We've got access to such good IEMs nowadays at such affordable prices. I mean, once again, the beauty of these shells, the comfort of them, the audio quality is exceptional for the price. But, you know, where are we headed? What are we doing? What are we doing? Everything is the same. I'm diverging. I'm getting off track. Look, the Cadenza shells are slightly smaller. I don't find either one of these more comfortable than the other. However, I do appreciate the smaller size of the Cadenza. The C3, the Tin Hi-Fi C3, it has slightly less upper treble energy. And you would think normally that would make the C3 a bit darker, but actually it's not. That's not exactly the case. I actually find the bass on the C3 to be tighter and faster and more precise. It's a little bit thicker and slower on the Cadenza. And I think the C3 actually has a slight edge in overall resolution as well and imaging. But you got to keep in mind the C3 here is worth, what, $49, I think? So that's like $14 more than the Cadenza, which is why I guess this one is being hyped so much. Like, honestly, if you've got any of those super duper sub $50 IEMs, if you've got the Soundnotes 7Hz Soundnote 0, if you've got the Moondrop Chew, if you've got the Tin Hi-Fi C3 already, or if you've got the C2, you're not really going to see any significant upgrade with the Cadenza. Apart from, I mean, in terms of sound, you might get an upgrade in terms of beauty because these are beautiful. But apart from that, it's a great IEM. I don't know what to say. It does lack treble energy. It is comfortable to listen to. It is impressive as well. It's not that exciting though. And it just it's just another one, if you know what I mean. It's just another one of those good sub $50 IEMs. And now there are just so many of them, all sounding the same. Like I said in my last video, choose the one that looks the best, or you like the shell shape, or you choose the one that has the most appealing cable. That's where we're at the moment. However, I am going to recommend the Cadenza, the Kiwi Ears Cadenza, because it is a very good IEM. It is actually quite amazing for a $35 price point. And I'm going to wrap it up there. So thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, give it the old thumbs up, ParFam audiophile style. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you see more content like this in the future. And until next time, I'll see you later.